Hello everybody, Tsunami Rage here bringing you a video tutorial on how I do my title graphics for all of my videos. The first thing that I do is I open up a new document and go File, New, open up 1280 by 720 document, which is a bit excessive considering that this is a full screen high definition graphic and nobody watches YouTube videos really in like high quality full screen whatever. They usually watch it in the regular size player. Very rarely do people full screen videos on YouTube. Anyway, click OK. I'm going to be doing a graphic for League of Legends. And I have my boring transparent background. I already have some renders saved. PlanetRenders.net is where I go to get my renders. It's an amazing website. I have two things to work with. I have my Ezreal render and my dark blue background, abstract background. I'm going to go ahead and drop them both up here in the timeline, or up in the top of the Photoshop like that. And Jakuro is the person that made this. Let me erase that because it does kind of obscure your graphics. Just put credit on your artwork or credit them in the description or whatever. And then I'm going to use my blue background. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to, since it's a background and it's locked, double click that lock, do that, drag this over. I will reposition it to fit because this is a perfect 1280 by 720 graphic. Alright, I'm going to open up the dark blue again, close it because I don't need it anymore. I'm going to open up the Ezreal graphic. I'm going to click here, drag it over, and close the Ezreal graphic because I will not need it anymore. Reposition it to where I need it. Use the arrow keys to I kind of want it a little bit closer to the edge. That looks kind of cool. Now, if you want it to be a transparent title card like over your video, you would leave it transparent, put your text over it. If you want it to be a thumbnail, you would put your background like that. Now, Ezreal's kind of boring looking on this background. So what I'm going to do over here on my Ezreal layer, I always work with the Layers tab open just because it makes it easier to manage everything. But on the Layers tab, I'm going to left click on the layer 3, which is Ezreal, right click on it, go, oops, going the wrong way. Go to Blending Options, and it's going to bring up a box. It's going to be called the Layer Style box, the Layer Style window. And what I'm going to do is you have drop shadow, inner shadow, all these cool little things. I'm going to add a drop shadow to Ezreal. I'm going to add a inner glow, an outer glow. I'm going to go to my first glow here, my outer glow. I'm going to right click or double click, get a bluish, yeah, that's cool. Copy that hex code like that. Then go to the inner glow and do this and do that and paste. Shit, did the wrong thing. Gotta go back, do this, yeah, copy this, okay, inner glow, double click because we don't want white. And actually, if you really wanted to, you could go a little bit darker, kind of add some contrast to it like that. That looks pretty sweet. You get really dark if you wanted to. It'll just kind of make it not green though. Yeah, just kind of toy around with the settings. Think about title cards like this. It's all about a personal preference. Like it's what you think looks good, as long as it's not like hurting somebody's eyes because of the contrast. Like you don't want lime green text on a dark green background, or you don't want like lime green. You don't want hot pink text on a lime green background. Is what I'm trying to say, because that will hurt your eyes. It's hard to read. It's not visually appealing unless you do some amazing things to it. But anyway, we're going to say that I'm not doing a title like a thumbnail. We're just going to do this as a title card because that's how I roll. Over here on the side, you have this little box, text tool thing. You click it, click somewhere on your drawing, on your project. This little flashing thing will come up. We're going to say this is for the lulz. This is a video for the lulz. And kind of Control T that and shrink it down for the lulz, like that. Then Control J for the lulz, EPI, and then put episode SODE. So we're going to say episode 22 because I want to. Episode 22. Put that in the bottom like that. Tab it up. Then Control J again, and we're going to put guide to as our little subtitle thing. And you could do that, and you could actually take these two things and toy around with them. But okay, now this is a title card. This isn't an actual thumbnail. If we were going to do a thumbnail, I would do something a little bit different. See how dark that is? But I mean, anyway, I wouldn't leave it black either way. But what I would do is over here on the left, under my Layers tab, I would left click on for the lulls. I would right click and go to Blending Options again, like I did with the Ezreal guide, or the Ezreal drawing. I'd put a drop shadow, just because I think it looks nice. I'd put a stroke and a gradient overlay. I would not stick with a black and white gradient. I mean, that's what it looks like. It doesn't look that bad. It's just not what I'm looking for personally for this drawing. I want like Ezreal colors. So what I would do, what I'm going to try is I'm going to try this out first. There's a way you can copy, we'll just copy the layer style. We're going to paste it on the text and see how that looks. We're going to see how this looks and see if it works. It does not. That looks atrocious. So we're going to Control Z that away. Right click on it again. Blending options. I guess I'll just have to show you this way. Okay. So we'll say stroke. We'll say drop shadow. We'll say gradient overlay. We'll change the gradient overlay to, say, I don't know, green. I don't know. I normally wouldn't do green, considering I'm working with blue and white. And this just looks kind of weird. But for this all sakes and purposes, we're going to go with this. All right. Now, rather than going through, say I did a lot of work and a lot of tweaking on this, rather than having to go through that whole process again, on the layer that has the effects, I always hide the effects because it's easier to work with. But on the layer that has the effects you want, you right-click on it. You go to Copy Layer Style. Then you go to your next part, Episode 22. Right click or left click on it to select it. Right click on it. Paste Layer Style. Click this. See how it just opened this? I always click that to close it. Then you click your next part, which is Guide to Ez. Right click on it and Paste Layer Style. Hide it. And then it looks something like this. Now on that blue title card, it looked like this. Doesn't look horribly bad. It's easy to read. I don't like the black because it just doesn't make the letters stand out as much as I would like. I could obviously tweak this little glow and actually try to put it on the letters or whatever, but we're just gonna go for this for now. But and this is what the title card would look like. And there's a difference between title cards and thumbnails. Now some people take, like with me, my title card and my thumbnail would be the same thing. The only difference is if this is my title card, I would do something like this in Sony Vegas. I would say for the lulls, and the first graphic would come in, and then the next part of the text, Episode 22, would come in at the bottom, and then in the last part it would say Guide to Ez. And then if I was and that would be my title cards. There would be 3 title cards slightly animated in Vegas. If I was going to do a thumbnail, this would be standard. I wouldn't tweak any of it. I would use this as my thumbnail, which I don't do thumbnails. I haven't. I thought about it. I'm going to experiment with them, but we'll see. And actually, that Episode 22, I'd kind of tab it over a little bit, or, you know, arrow it over to kind of, yeah, that looks a lot better. Yeah, so that's just some minor tips and tools of the trade. This is going straight to YouTube, by the way. There was no editing done in this. This is all on the go, on the fly, just pulling it out of my ass as I go. If like most programs, you want to familiarize yourself with the program. This bar right here is your friend. This sidebar is your friend. It has a lot of great tools on it. The magic wand, lasso, marquee tools, erasers, paint bucket, blur, all that good stuff. It's got path selections. It's got shapes, which are really cool. Like I could put a shape there and do all sorts of cool shit with that. But for now, I just want a basic title card. And this is what we have. If you're using Photoshop, familiarize yourself with this toolbar and what it does. Also, familiarize yourself with everything that goes across the top. Especially, I love this, the filters. We'll actually use a filter. We'll go to the select our Ezreal layer. We'll go to filter. We're gonna pick. We're gonna say texture grain, and it will actually pop up a window here that will. We're gonna zoom out so it's easier to see. You can actually go through here, all these different layer styles, color pencil, you could go fresco, looks kind of cool, paint daubs, that actually looks really sweet. I'd go with that. And you can mix and match layer style, like those two. Like you could, you know, it still has all your layer styles and it's kind of like a painting in a way, I guess. Anyway, just the filter, the filter and the layer, I mean, all of these are important. I mean, you might not use them a lot, but they have some neat, useful things. But that's it for this video, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. It is direct upload, so I do apologize. I might do some more of these videos in the future, like more in-depth on how I do my title cards and stuff. But this is just a basic guide to get you started. If you like this video, let me know. If you want to see more, let me know. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and stay tuned for what I've got coming out in the future. This is No Married signing out.